want to talk about one of the laziest pieces of analog horror I have ever seen, and also one of the laziest horror series I have ever seen on the internet. If you want to know the story of Urban Spook, I would like to know too, because we're like a bunch of episodes in now, ain't got nothing. Let me start off by saying there's a lot of people who think people hate on this series just because it deals with dark themes, or because it's a minimalist style. And for me personally, that's not my issue. Also, if you are thinking of watching this series, please know that this has child death in it, it has CSA, it has SA, and now it has bestiality. My biggest issue with Urban Spooks is, one, it is an incredibly lazy series, and I refuse to call it an analog horror because it says it is, but it's not. And it had potential. The first video we got, Faces, set up a really interesting premise. Essentially, there's a serial killer running around causing chaos, and behind every victim he leaves a painting, essentially kind of illustrating what he did to the person. And the artwork's pretty cool. It's satisfactory. But it's literally just, a picture, artwork, text, and like maybe some spooky noises in the background. And then that's it. I feel like this wants to be like the Poughkeepsie tapes, but forgets the Poughkeepsie tapes had an outer narrative aside from the tapes. And also, this just reminds me of a Serbian film, or Salo. Like, it's really no rhyme or reason, at least I'll give Serbian film one thing over Urban Spooks: it has a coherent narrative and story. It's bad, but it at least is there. Whereas this is just, oh, what did the wacky painter killer man do this week? Oh, he strangled a child, and he called one child an F-toy, and he Mr. Hands the woman. And it's like... And it's boring, which is the biggest sin you can be. And you can call me desensitized. I am. I have a lot of trauma, and I've been watching horror movies since I was still forming a personality. But even still, this is just, is it really scary, or is it just gross? You know what I mean? That being said, though, let me point you in the direction of an analog horror series that actually uses the analog format, actually has a creative take on how to tell a story, deals with dark themes, and does all of that respectfully and in an entertaining way. And that is Children Under the House by Vintage 8. Also, just check out Vintage 8 in general. Their Tangivirus, oh my god, love that one too. But this series is a therapist essentially working with a little girl who has stopped speaking because she lives in a haunted house. And it deals with trafficking, deals with dead children, and it does it all through this child's drawings, voiceover, and some text on screen. And it's amazing.